So Bluelock chapter 219 starts off by throwing us straight back into the action. With Kunigami stealing possession of the ball from his own teammate, the field has now been thrown into absolute chaos, with everybody just trying to quickly adjust to it. Now obviously, Ness is all pissed off and screaming about this, but
we do not care.
Sendo, on the other hand, is yelling out for the Ubers to watch out for Kunigami's mid-range shot, while Aiku also watches alongside him. While working his way up the field, Kunigami grits his teeth and puts his head down, doing something wildly unexpected for his physical playstyle. With the knowledge that Ubers will be watching out for his mid-range shot, Kunigami actually decides to fake this shot, swinging his left leg over and around the ball instead. Now after planting that left foot back down, he pushes the ball out with his right one, effectively passing up his defender with something other than raw physical prowess. As always, and to no surprise to us, obviously Isagi motherfucking Yoichi has been watching all along, pointing out that Kunigami is just going completely solo. Isagi straight up says that Kunigami has no chance in hell at succeeding with this push, considering that there are still 3 defenders at his front. He knows that he could run in to support Kunigami, but we all know that the wildcard veteran ain't passing to anybody but himself, leaving Isagi with only one option left. He's gonna have to press that man for the ball. Isagi is confident that when Kunigami gets into the penalty area, he's going to get tied up with all the defenders, making that the perfect place to steal the ball. I actually find it really surprising that Kunigami is still playing that selfishly, considering that wildcard wasn't a failure at all. Kunigami's physique, skills, and gameplay have all seemingly improved drastically. However, his social skills and teamwork are now of that of an elementary school baseball player. The only difference is, instead of picking dandelions in the outfield, our beloved hero thinks that he's the goddamn Dark Knight of Bluelock. Now with that metavision pattern lighting up his way, Isagi knows exactly what to do and can see it very clearly with his eyes. The only problem with that is, so can Nico. Since activating his metavision this match, Nico has been mainly focused in on Isagi, even just verbally stating in his trance-like state that he can't lose track of him. This metavision, it's amazing. Just like the first time Isagi unlocked metavision, Nico is feeling like the man right now, or more accurately, an all-seeing god over the field. Instead of just focusing on the ball, he's now able to scan the entire pitch, inputting every bit of information that's occurring on it right now. He's also focusing closely on our boy Isagi Yoichi as well, noting that he's also heading for the exact same spot. With 2 defenders at his front pretty close to him, Kunigami once again pulls back his leg in preparation for a shot, as Nico still watches ever so closely. Once again faking the shot, Kunigami uses the slight change in balance of the players as his chance, successfully cutting in past both of the defenders. Now Nico is still watching him closely, pointing out that some of these skills are only possible due to Kunigami's newly acquired ambidextrousness. He knows that Kunigami will just end up obliterating that ball with his more dominant, powerful foot, so if he just simply intervenes the split second before, checkmate. With Nico reading the situation perfectly with his metavision, it's no wonder that Isagi's also converging in on the ball, making it a 3-way duel, even between teammates, in order to gain possession. According to Nico here, he says that his odds of success are around 50-50, considering that if either Isagi or Kunigami gain possession, it's still beneficial to Bastard Munchen, even if they're not working together. Now just one thing before the next page that I want to tell you guys, watch my theories. I was right. Finally emerging from the shadows, Raichi Jingo, ladies and gentlemen, puts those clamps down on Nico's toddler ass, preventing him from gaining possession at all. Now I'm already crying tears of joy while writing this, because all hail Raichi, but it even gets better, guys. This man tells Nico that the Duel King is now at the scene, while also calling him an introverted weirdo. Damn, he's really calling some of y'all in the Bluelock community out with this too. Nico just can't believe his own eyes, being confused as hell where Raichi came from and how he knew where he was going. Just then as well, Isagi charges in to successfully take possession of the ball, while also dropping a hard-ass bar and life truth to Nico. You got drunk off your newly found vision. Nico, your metavision is still incomplete. First Raichi, now Isagi. Who else wants to verbally harass a 15-year-old child today? I mean, damn. They have Nico out here looking like Ness. 4-letter name, starts with an N, and gets abused by everybody on the field. Now I'm sure you guys already know the usual procedure, because Isagi's gotta break the play-by-play down for us with a dope little chibi demonstration. Nico was just too focused and tunnel-visioned on tracking Isagi and the ball, considering he's still an amateur at using metavision. This allows Raichi to sneak in behind Nico and wait for the perfect time to ambush, which is exactly why Isagi swung himself further to the outside. It helped further narrow the scope of Nico's vision, considering that if he just turned his head 1 little centimeter towards Raichi for even a single second, he would have probably easily dealt with him. With a darkened look only being lit up by his metavisioned eyes, Isagi tells Nico that he got too high off of his evolution, resulting in him failing to deal with the situation at hand. While leaping over his own teammate Kunigami's leg, Isagi disses Nico once again, calling his brain and eyes nothing but second rate to him. Yeah, nah, Nico is pissed, which is completely fair. I mean, if I was 15 years old and getting violated like that, my first idea is not going to be just go on with the match. I'm throwing hands. We're not tolerating this disrespect. Now, after landing back down with the newly overturned ball at his front, Isagi is also being verbally harassed by his own teammate Raichi. This man Raichi even almost drops an F-bomb straight up, screaming at Isagi that he's an asshole for stealing his moment. I see it. Only 2 defenders left. Isagi is not listening, instead being fully immersed into the game, looking only for openings into the goal. Luckily to help solve that problem, one of Isagi's best bros, Kurona, appears on the scene, frantically telling Isagi to pass him the ball. While looking back at him on some slightly fruity shit, Isagi decides to place his trust in Kurona, shooting him off a pass while calling him his reliable planet. Kurona then sends a pass so perfect back to Isagi that it couldn't even be intercepted by Aryu's super jump, leaving him calling them the Golden Duo. While tracking the ball as it descends down towards him, Isagi confidently states that this goal will be his. Sadly for our boy Isagi though, a player quickly arrives at his front for defense, being none other than Oliver Aiku, Japan's former U20 captain and currently Uber's center back. So this is what you call metavision, huh? The superhuman ability to see over the entire field. With his own badass look of metavision glistening in his eyes, Aiku has also left Isagi in utter shock, sending his brain spiraling into a million questions and issues. He's putting the pieces together a little though, realizing that Aiku couldn't have possibly predicted his movements, unless he had metavision himself. Successfully cutting off Isagi's shooting angle as well, Aiku mockingly asks if he can join in on their high-level chess match. Our main character, the GOAT himself, Himseki Yoichi, is not worried about that shit though, telling Aiku to shut up and confidently stating that it's not over. While trapping the ball up into the air with his right foot, and Aiku watching very closely, Isagi says that he still has his secondary weapon up his sleeve, his lefty direct shot. While pulling back his leg for it, Aiku just basically does the equivalent of dropping somebody's IP in the Xbox party chat. He recognized instantly and points out that Isagi will shoot with his left, but he's not done, because Aiku also knows that Isagi's left foot is only 40% of his right one, leaving a look of confusion on his opponent's face. In one of the hardest panels of Aiku, he references back to the U20 match, reminding Isagi that he's the warden and they're just small fry robbers to him. Now that's how you know if somebody's on deeming timing, when they're making the main character's face turn black and white and make a face like this. Now with Aiku at his front, Isagi feels like the field and his plans are just crumbling all around him, due to this pesky defender seeing right through his specs. Due to his lefty shot being brand new and still a work in progress, Isagi either needed to be wide open or in a great shooting angle for it to work. The problem is, after only seeing it one single time, Aiku has managed to deduce the shot's exact weakness, instantly responding to it with a perfect press to cut down his shooting angles. With a cold-ass grin on his face, Aiku has successfully stopped Isagi from rampaging any further up the field, evolving just as rapidly as everyone else. Isagi. Just then, Isagi hears his name being called out from none other than Yukimiya Kinyu, who's running alongside up the field. Yuki calls out for Isagi to pass it over to him, actually even embracing the nickname that Isagi called him before, Mudboat. Now it's more like a lifeboat here, because Isagi has no other options other than 1v1ing this defensive beast Oliver Aiku, or really passing to Yukimiya. I want you guys to go into the comments right now and let me know. Do you think Isagi's going to keep possession himself somehow, or do you think he's going to end up passing to Yukimiya, or maybe somebody else? Now if we actually take a look at chapter 220's title, it's revealed to be the Seesaw game, which is just a kid's playground ride for those of you unfamiliar. As usual, it seemingly does have dual meanings to me, because obviously firstly, it just represents the game going back and forth due to the skills of both teams. Now my personal theory is that it's a reference to specifically the awakenings of both teams, which have been seemingly going back and forth throughout this entire match. Now with Uber's side being the last to awaken with Oliver Aiku and his metavision lockdown of Isagi, it's looking like Yukimiya might have himself a moment in this next chapter. Now Now, it's also possible that maybe Hiyori gets subbed in, or Kaiser has his moment in this next chapter, because those are both things that could turn the tide of the game in Bastard Moonshin's favor. Now, especially with Hiyori, the whole shifting the weight of the field to one side thing could be in reference to his super far pings and itoshi level of accuracy with his passes. Now, as always, these are just my personal theories and opinions, so make sure to go into the comments and let me guys know what you think of all this and what's gonna happen next chapter. Now, I'm sorry to break the news to you guys, but this is actually the end of the video, so if you guys enjoyed the content that I put out and want to see more of it, make sure to support my channel by subscribing, liking, commenting, all that fun stuff. I hope you all have an amazing day, and thank you all so much for watching.